Hi there, my name's Dan.
And my name's Suzie, and together we're a Duzie.
And hello.
Hello, TeenStreet Philippines.
Woo, 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 woo. We're coming to you not quite live from our studio here in Atlanta, Georgia. And the reason we're not with you right now is
because it's the middle of the night for us and we're sleeping.
We're sleeping.
But we're
sleeping.
thinking of you, and we pre-recorded this earlier so that we could be with you.
And we're cheering you on. So what we're talking about here today is about community.
Yeah, and something about community that we would love to speak a little bit more about is something that we call the net. And it includes three parts: the nest, the eagle, and the tree.
We have a whole course on this. We're going to let you watch it, and then we're going to come back at the end. See you there.
So we're looking at net. And the N of net is nest. When I was younger growing up, I always had a nest of people around me, my same age, same stage, that we did life together. When I was younger, it was a guy called David. I had a guy, Jeff. There was Jody, and there was Laura. When I went to college, there was Kevin and Daniel and Jimmy G. When I grew up, there was always someone there. When I lived in Michigan, just before I moved to Georgia, there was Mike, and there was Dale, and there was this connection there. We all, at all ages and stages, we need to have this nest of security, a very close, tight group.
So when we think of nest, we're really thinking about who are the people who support your fully alive Zoe life. And for me, as Dan just identified in his different seasons who those people are, the people for me who are always supportive of me in my life, in my fully alive Zoe, happen to be my family. I am so blessed. So Dan is my man, and he's my number one supporter, and he's definitely in the nest with me, probably the most. He gets to process life with me, and since I'm an outside processor, he gets to hear a lot. I'm so grateful that he's a good listener and that he cares. And then we have Joshua and Saskia, our kids. They are always asking us, how are you? And they're trying to promote whatever it takes for us to stop or start things that allow me to be fully alive. Josiah, our second son, and his wife Laura, they're also great supporters to us, and especially when we're together, they try to do things that just give us a lot of relief from stress, because they're also in that space where they need it. Dan's parents, my parents, are very supportive to us. When we were just recently on the ship, I had a number of girls that I was mentoring that became my people, that they not only did life with me, but they were very vested in who I am as a person. The person that comes to mind straight up is Elaine. So thank you, Elaine, for being my person and caring about my soul. We're soul sisters because we cared at a soul level for one another. We were in the nest together. There was also Nadine, who every time we were getting together, she'd say, "And how are you?" And then there was also Liz. She has a gift of hospitality, and she would have us in her space and cook us food and find out how we were at the heart. There's so many people who we are in the nest with, but I'm asking you, maybe you can take some time to identify those people who are supporting you personally to be fully alive.
The Bible has a great picture of this in David and Jonathan. Jonathan is Saul's son. Jonathan should be the next king. But Samuel goes and anoints David to be the next king. So there should be some major conflict going on here. And yet there's this incredible nest that happens. A love that is amazing. A love that is, I care for you more than the position, which I find just fabulous. The goal was to support each other. And that's what we need to have within our nest, is that it isn't the competition, but it's how can I help you grow? With the whole net idea, it's how can I help you fly?
When we look at the Bible, there's some concepts that support this. And in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 and 10, it says, 2 are better than 1. If one falls down, who will help the other up? A cord of 3 is not easily broken. 2 people to support us. 1 Corinthians 15:33 says, bad company corrupts good character. So if we're choosing those people in our nest that are not good company, that are not our people, that are not supportive to us, it's going to have an effect. I love this one from Psalm 119:63 that says, I am a friend to anyone who fears you, anyone who obeys your commandments. So those are good options of people who have similar values to you, that stand for similar things, and that can support you. And Psalm 101, verse 6 says, I will search for faithful people to be my companions. So who are the people that you choose to be in the net together with you? It makes a difference for you being fully alive and to live your fully alive Zoe.
So as we look at the net, there's going to be 3 positions we learn. The first one is the nest position. And if you're in the nest with people, you're simply looking around. So take your head, if you would, and look around. View this way, view that way. And hopefully you're looking to see who is it that I'll surround myself in the net that'll be there for me to help, but also they will help me to fly. So this is the view. It goes like this, and it goes like this. Who is in the net? Who have you invited in your net to fly with?
You can support your fully alive Zoe by viewing your net community. So we talked about your nest as your people, and the eagle getting the big perspective view.
I don't know if you've ever had an eagle in your life, a mentor or a coach that really took you forward. But years ago, I had a guy, and his name was Bill Baker. And I was probably 12 or 13 when he started mentoring me in the summer in something called Magic College.
So you went to school to learn magic?
In the summer, yeah.
Wow.
And there were a bunch of professionals that would each take one of us young guys and train them and mentor them over the course of years. And the first thing I think Bill ever taught me was something with the 3 ropes to make sure 3 ropes are exactly the same.
I love when Dan does rope tricks.
So what Bill did was he took and he put the 3 ropes so they're all exactly the same length on the top, and he pulled them down like this, and then he cut them. And he said, now I've made them all the same size. Well, I wasn't so impressed, but they were all the same size. But he said, you have to have them the same size if you're going to make them different. And I was asking, what do you mean different? And he stretched one out like this, and he said, well, if you want to make one really long, and you want to make one really short, and one just slightly bigger, then that's how you do it. And I was very, very confused, because I remember
like
he just cut 3 of them to be exactly the same length. So he said, now here's how you do it, Dan, because he was instructing me how to do it. He said, you start off with 3 ropes that are exactly the same lengths, which I had. I just cut them. And he said, what you have to do is make sure you stretch them. So I tried desperately to stretch them. He said, no, not like that. He said, what you have to do is you have to stretch it like this, so you have one long one, one medium size, and one long one. And with that, I became very, very confused. I loved Bill as a mentor, and he mentored me for several years, and I finally learned how to do the rope trick. But I'm not going to go into that right now.
Wow. I like rope tricks.
You like rope tricks?
What just happened? I'm not catching that. So how is Bill Baker like an eagle to you?
He was like an eagle, because I was like, I just did a few little things, but he took me to a whole new level. He allowed me to get involved in an international competition where I ended up taking 3rd, and he coached me all the way through each step, even what to do when something goes wrong. Matter of fact, last night I was doing a trick for people. It totally messed up, and none of them know it.
Nope.
Because he had taught me so much of when you make a mistake, how you're going to cover that. So you practice doing the trick, but you also practice what do you do if you make a mistake. That's what eagles do. They prepare you for anything that may come forward.
When we were thinking about eagles in the Bible, we thought of a few characters. It starts with Eli. Eli was the priest, and he became the eagle for Samuel. And Samuel was the next guy. He was the prophet, Samuel, that Eli was the eagle for. And then when Samuel got older, he became the eagle to David, the king David. And then David became the eagle to Solomon, his son.
And Solomon became the eagle for no one.
Nobody. He
It just
stopped the
stopped.
flow.
The kings all started going downhill after that because there were no more eagles.
So eagles are really important to pour into people. And there's many people who are just a little bit more advanced age and stage, a little bit more life wisdom, life experience. And you can be an eagle for somebody else.
So how do you find an eagle? Now, of course, if you're out kayaking, you look up, you see one, you just found one. But in life, how do you find that mentor or that coach that'll pour their life into you? As I said, I've had many, 53 I think it is, that literally they took me places. Now some of them, it was an arranged thing. I will meet you on Tuesday night and we'll go forward. But many of them, they had just offered, they're going to go paint a house. Jump in if you want to go paint with me. And I stood with them and we worked together and I learned from them. What I found is you had to be available and you had to be looking for them.
Yeah.
3 of the universities that I went to, I went there because there was a professor there that I wanted to be mentored by.
You wanted them as your eagle.
I wanted them as my eagle. And I am so glad that they took me under their wing. So you have to be looking, you have to ask. And oftentimes eagles don't know how to eagle. They've just grown up in it. And so you have to say, I just want to learn from you. I want to learn that skill. I want to learn that character. You have to be very, very clear with them and talk about for the next month, for the next 2 months. Some of my eagles, it was only a month or 2. Some of them were years. But they all had a real impact on the way I fly today.
So what I heard you say is to find an eagle, you notice someone who you feel like could be an eagle for you, and you are in the space where you develop a relationship. Sometimes you ask, sometimes it's a natural connection, but you look for those people who are able to be an eagle for you. And
so during this course, Suzie and I are eagles for you. We're taking you on a journey. We've been there, and now we're going to take you there. There's a guy
Thank you. We love having you on the journey with us.
There's a guy called David, and I am an eagle for him in areas of research and in areas of coaching. There are some other people that I am an eagle for them in learning magic. So in different areas, you can be an eagle for others.
And I love to be an eagle for girls especially. I love to take them under and mentor them, coach them, a combination. Just pour into them and help draw out of them the best side of them.
Usually Susie's eagle wings are pretty full of people.
I love that.
But we definitely enjoy that.
Yeah, so you can support your fully alive Zoe by viewing your net community.
But then the T is tree. And that's the greater community that you belong to. And it is not just now, it could be something that goes back generations. That reaches up to support who you are and where you're going in your life.
So today, or in this section, we're actually talking about the tree, the community. And when we think of the tree, that is the picture of our view, my community. And this is the place where you belong, especially as you're living your fully alive Zoe life. Where is it that you belong? With your people, with your eagle. It is the place or the space or where many of those things come together. So in that tree or that community, you can find the people that can pour into you and help you live your fully alive Zoe. But you also can pour into others in the nest with you, and you can pour back into your ego. And you need to view your community. This is one of the things. Who's in that community, and how can they help you be contagious? So as we're living our fully alive life, we become like a person of light, and that light shines light on other people. It's motivating, it's encouraging, it's empowering. We're just not in a receive position. We receive and we give in our tree of community. So we give both light and we give our Zoe life, and we are benefiting others. And as they live their Zoe life, we get the benefit from that as well.
Earlier this year, Suzie and I were driving our little car Zoe through, I think it was North Dakota. That's in the northern part of America. We're driving along, and I looked out the window, and there's this eagle beautiful, huge eagle sitting on top of a fence post. Now, that's so
that's
strange.
about this high.
Usually they're flying high in the sky or way up in the trees, but when I looked around, I noticed there were no trees. Wherever we were, it was like just a prairie with no trees, and this eagle is sitting on the fence post. And there was no nest. And I was thinking about it, thinking, isn't it interesting that the tree actually gives a place for the nest to grow? It supports it, it holds it, and it protects it. If you've ever seen a nest on the ground, it's in great danger of the wolves. An eagle won't build a nest on the ground. They can't protect their young. So the whole picture is there is this nest, and the young ones in the nest are so valuable that you have the tree, the community, holding it up and supporting it, protecting it, giving it boundaries. And then the eagle is flying in to protecting it. And I think too often in this generation, we're moving ahead so fast that we no longer value the tree. And we sort of cut down the tree, which makes the nest lay in the grass, which we're vulnerable to the wolves.
Yeah, so we've been having 3 views. The first was to look around at your nest. The second was to look up at your eagle. But now in this part, in the tree part, you want to view down.
You want to sort of take a look outside the nest and realize
who's in your community.
Huge structure holding you up. It's a tree.
And like Dan was saying, it's also your legacy. It's your parents or other eagles who have poured into you and provided you a safe place up and out of the space of danger.
It's legacy. Let's go back and look at Joseph again. Joseph now, he's gone from being favored with his coat of many colors. His coat was taken from him by his brothers, sold into slavery. He went to work for Potiphar. And Potiphar loved him. He went to the top. Everything was under his hands. He was the manager of all that Potiphar had. But because Potiphar's wife, which was pot of trouble, got him in trouble, he ended up in prison. The whole time he didn't forget, though, whose he was, who he belonged to. He didn't forget the dream of life, to lead in a powerful way. So he was in this prison now. And in the prison, he could have easily said, hey, I'm done with this. But again, he rose to the top. It shows in Genesis chapter 36, there is this compassion, even a friendship between him and the other prisoners. When they're in trouble, he goes to say, why are you so sad? What can I do to help you? There's a net arrangement there, but there's also a relationship with the warden. The warden, who's definitely the eagle, he knows all about the prison, actually is grooming Joseph to really take care of the whole prison. He's eagling him. But you see, once Joseph interprets the dreams and he's taken to Pharaoh, the community just grows. He literally is planning the salvation of the whole world, that they don't starve. He is in great connection with Pharaoh, with Pharaoh's men, with the Egyptians, and later with his own family when they come. His community tree is absolutely huge. Several different branches, different languages, different cultures. But as he looks over his nest, even while still in prison, he can see the father, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. They're all that tree supporting Joseph.
So you can support your fully alive Zoe life by viewing your net community, your nest, your people. You look around and see who those people are. I hope you've identified those people in your nest. You can also view your eagle. You want to look up.
And you're very blessed if you have several eagles in your life.
And you also want to view your tree or your community where you belong.
We're back.
Welcome back, everyone.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the training on the net.
Did you realize her hair color changed? And so did my glasses?
We have a lot of changes, and we love change, as you well know.
In a moment, you're going to go into a net time. And there you're going to be looking at community. And I would ask you to think about, what is it that you need to grow your community?
So, what is the condition of your nest, your people? What is the condition of your eagle? Do you have someone who is feeding and helping you fly, like a mentor in your life? And what does your community tree look like? We would love, while you're in your net right now, in your small group breakout session, to just describe those 3 areas and have a time just to discuss what you need and what it could look like.
When you're a follower of Jesus, it isn't just alone. You're with others. You're with community. So we challenge you and we charge you.
Dun, dun, dun.
Find your community and live fully alive.
Hope you have a great rest of the weekend. God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.